welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do some Dollar Tree DIY fall decor. So if you want to see how I did some of these DIYs, then keep watching.
If you're a closed book, then why can I still read your pages? Yeah, I see them in your face when you look at me that way. Not much has changed here. And if I could, I'd grab the wrists of time and run right back to the start. Even knowing how it ended, I'd do it all again, dear, just to hold you in my arms one last time. Was it all just a dream? And I finally woken up. I thought I gave you the best of me.
This first one I'm not so proud of. It's my home sign. I don't really like it because the paint did bleed through the stencil. But anyways, I still put it in the video and I'm still going to show you how I did this. So I got a piece of wood. I actually got this from our furniture box. It was in our furniture box to support our furniture, and I kept it because I wanted to do something with it. So I got these stencils at Michael's. I think they were like $5, but I had a coupon, so they were a little cheaper than that. And right now I'm just figuring out how I want to place them down. I did not like them side by side, so I ended up doing them up to down. After this, I just got some washi tape. I don't have painter's tape, so I use washer's tape and taped the stencils down and put my little wooden home in place. I got that wooden home from Michael's as well. I think it was like 70 something cents plus the coupon, so it was a little cheaper than that. And I'm just gonna draw out my home, and I did end up drawing a chimney and a door to it. After that, I'm just gonna paint in my stencils. I tried my best to hold down the stencils, that way the paint didn't bleed through, but it still bled through. And now I'm gonna paint out the house that I traced out. I'm gonna pull out all the stencils, and this is how it came out. I'm pretty sure it could have came out a lot better, but it is what it is. The next DIY is this fall sign. This beware sign from the Dollar Tree. I ended up using the back side. I'm gonna cut off the ribbon that holds it up. I'm gonna cut off the ribbon, and I'm gonna use this chalk paint and paint the entire back. So for the next step, I need a ruler, a pencil, and some stencils. And I got the stencils from Michael's. So I was going to use one ruler, but then I ended up just taping two rulers together to make it a little easier. And I'm using this ruler to help me make a straight line down to make it look like a wood type fence type thing. And now I'm using this chalk paint in gray wool, and I'm going to use that to trace out the lines. And I'm not going to make it perfectly because I'm just going to sand it down anyway, so I'm just going to trace out the line. So now I got sandpaper, and I'm just going to sand the whole entire piece down, including the white. And now I'm going to use a damp paper towel to wipe it down. And now I'm going to get the stencils ready and placed where I want them to be. And I got this burgundy leaf from Walmart for almost $2. I'm going to use this as the A. I only had one L, so I used the cutout part for the second L. but I only put it just to make sure that everything fit nicely and see how it came out. And now I'm going to trace out all the letters because in my last DIY, the paint bled through the stencil. So I learned from my mistakes and now I'm just going to trace it out. I'm cutting the stem off of the leaf because it was too long. And I'm using the gray wool again to trace out the letters. Now I'm going to fill in the letters, glue down the leaf. After I got that glue down, I'm going to go back and sand down the letters. Got some twine and I'm gonna wrap it around the top and the bottom. I use some tape to tape it down in the back to hold it in place while I wrap it around. I wrapped it around probably 5 times and now I'm just gonna glue it down to hold it in place. And that's how it came out. This next DIY is probably one of my favorites. It's the pumpkin frames. So I got 2 of these pumpkins, the bows and the pumpkin and sunflowers. After I do that, I'm gonna go to the back side and remove the stickers. I use washi tape to tape down the stands, that way I don't get any paint on the stands. You can just take the stands off, but I found it easier to just put tape on the stands rather than taking it off the stands and putting it back on the stands and having to hot glue it back on. I go back into the chalk paint and paint the entire pumpkins. Once I paint the entire pumpkin, I go into espresso and kind of give the pumpkin some type of dimensions. So I'm just gonna draw out some lines for the pumpkins to make it look kind of 3D in a way. And I'm gonna take off the washi tape. I did get some white paint on the stand, but I'm just gonna go back with espresso and paint over it. After that is done, I sand down the entire pumpkins and I have my 2 choice of photos. This is my daughter in 2017 and 2018. I'm gonna place it down to see how I want it to look. And here I'm just deciding on what sort of designs I want to do with the pumpkins. I try to incorporate the original items that were already on the original pumpkin, and I ended up not liking it, so I tried these pumpkin stickers that I also did not like. So instead, I grabbed some twine and wrapped it around one of the pumpkins on the top and bottom. Glued that down to secure it. And put the picture in place how I want it and glue it down. I ended using its original bow and putting it back into its place. And that's how my first pumpkin came out. For the second one, I decided to use this ribbon that I also got from Dollar Tree. And I'm just trying to figure out where I want it to be. And I'm gonna now glue it down. It doesn't matter if you can see the glue there in the middle because you can place the picture on top anyways, so you won't even be able to see that glue that's seeking through. So now I'm gonna place my picture and see how I like it and glue it down to its spot. And again, I used its original bowl and put it back in its place. And that is the pumpkin frames. DIY is this harvest sign. I have 3 of these gather signs, but I only ended up using 2, and also these metal words. So I'm using the word harvest and I'm using 2 pumpkin stickers, and this is how I'm envisioning it to look like. I am painting the harvest sign with the white chalk paint, and while I'm painting, I'm moving the word the metal word around, that way it doesn't get stuck. Painting up where it says gather, because all I want is the plaid to show. I'm gonna do a second coat on the word harvest. After all the paint is dried up, I'm gonna glue the 2 stands together, gluing both part of the backs together. After I got that glued down, I'm putting down my letter, my metal word to see how I want it placed, and I made this bow and I wanted to see how it looked like with the bow and if I had to add another plaid stand to it or not, and I ended up not liking it, so I ended up using the 2 wood sticker pumpkins I also got from Dollar Tree. After I found the placement I liked, I ended up hot gluing it all down. And that is my harvest sign. This last DIY is probably my favorite and the most easiest one to do. All you need is a little cupcake stand. I got this one at Target at the dollar section, and I ended up painting it with the gray chalk. This tray is actually one of those party trays. I got this for my daughter's birthday party this year to put cupcakes on, but you could use any type of tray or even a plate. I only chose this one because I like the rectangular look. I went off and started to cut off the pine cones and to cut off this green plant. I can't remember what it's called. I just cut into 2 sections, and then I got these white balls from the Dollar Tree as well. I placed down the green leaf plant on each side, and each side I also put the little white decorative balls, and I put one in the middle, and then I just put the frosted pine cones all over the place as well. I wanted to incorporate these gray pumpkins that I painted, but I didn't like the way they sat on the leaves, so I ended up not using them. And the last thing to do is to get a candle of your choice and put it on top. I used this candle because I wanted a white candle to sit on top. And